I want to dive deeper into the genetics of a Hardgainer, or aka an Ectomorph. I specifically want to talk about the benefits of being a Hardgainer in your fitness journey. But first, if you don't know what an Ectomorph is, it's someone who is classified as having a small frame. This really just means your skeletal structure. You may have smaller wrists, smaller joints, and narrow clavicles. All three of these things are signs that you're an ectomorph. An example with me is when I was in school, I noticed that often I had smaller hands than people. My wrists were really small. If you can relate with me, then you're probably an ectomorph as well. Now, it's not about your ability to put on muscle. I think I put on muscle pretty fast. It's more about how much muscle your frame can hold. And there's other genetic factors too, like your metabolism. All right, the first benefit that I found while being an ectomorph is that you can stay lean way easier than other people. Think about it, you're already naturally a hard gainer. This means that it's harder for you to get fat. Like I mentioned in the previous video, if you're an ectomorph, it's going to be hard for you to bulk. That's where all the work you're going to put in is going to be at. And the main reason for this is because we have such a high metabolism. For me to gain weight consistently, I seriously have to eat 3,500 calories a day or somewhere around that. And if you're like me, you can use that to your advantage. This means that you can stay lean even on your bulk, which leads me to my next point. Hard gainers tend to be way more aesthetic, not only because they can stay lean while building muscle, but their overall frame seems to be structured for bodybuilding aesthetics. An example of this is David Lay. At one point, he was the face of aesthetics, and he's an ectomorph. And the reason for this is simple, because what is one of the most desired genetic features in bodybuilding? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. Go. The answer is a small waist. Let me know if you guys got that right in the comments. That's another reason why ectomorphs tend to be more aesthetic, because they're often genetically gifted a small waist. If you add some good shoulders on top of that physique, it's the ultimate Dorito look, and that's what everybody wants. I want to talk about some misconceptions before we get into the last benefit. One of them being, since ectomorphs are usually leaner, they don't have to do cardio. That couldn't be further from the truth. I think everyone should do cardio because it's good for your heart and it comes with a ton of health benefits. Another misconception is that ectomorphs are automatically more healthier than everybody. And I want to make this really clear. Being lean and aesthetic does not automatically equal healthy. While it is a healthy sign, it's only one marker of health when there are countless more. The last misconception I want to bring up is that ectomorphs should not lift heavy. People say this because, like I said before, our bone structure may be smaller or lighter. This will make heavy lifting more of a hazard. All that is simply not true, because lifting heavy is one of the most effective ways to build strength and muscle. That's basically saying if you're an ectomorph, you can't get strong. The reason why I wanted to bring up the misconceptions is because I don't want ectomorphs to be discouraged. At some point in my fitness journey, when I discovered I was an ectomorph, I was a little bit discouraged, because I'm thinking, I'm working so hard, I'm training hard, but I'm still small. I thought to myself, why can't I be this guy's size? What's the difference between him and me? Why is he so much bigger than me? But then I thought to myself, maybe I just need to bulk. Maybe I just need to put on some size. And then I overbulked and I got fat as hell. And at some point I realized I am who I am. I cannot change my genetics, and I should be happy with what I can do and what I can control. That made me appreciate my physique more and actually have more confidence and say, I really do have a good physique. I am kind of jacked, stuff like that. But ultimately, comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were in the past, who you were a few years ago, who you were a few months ago. As long as you are improving, that is what you should really strive for. All right, back to the topic of the video. The third and final benefit of being an ectomorph is that you're naturally gifted at body weight movements and calisthenics. This makes a ton of sense because theoretically, if your frame is lighter and smaller, then it will be easier for you to move yourself around. And I simply just think that the structure of ectomorphs are better for calisthenics. When I was a child, I was always very adept at things like backflips and handstands. They came natural to me. And as I got older, I think I realized one of the reasons for that was because my body was built to make things like that easy for me. Fun fact, I was actually in the circus. I'm talking about stilts, unicycle, juggling, all of that. And in that circus program, it was a little bit of gymnastics, like back handsprings, backflips if you could do them. You were like doing tricks on top of a globe, standing on it, running on top of a globe, getting your balance. All of that type of stuff was pretty natural to me. And then when I was in PE class, when I was in middle school, I was always the best at pull-ups. Like I didn't even never train for them, never anything. And then I realized, damn, I could do like 8 pull-ups, and I was in like 7th grade. So if you're like me, you're an ectomorph, try to get into calisthenics a little bit. You don't got to go crazy, but I implemented it in my training and I find it really fun. As you can see, I just started weighted pull-ups and I'm really enjoying them. I appreciate you for getting this far into the video. Like and subscribe.